Why doesn't the absent parent get blamed? It's a really simple answer. Because they were absent. There's no connection. The only connection that there might be is a romanticized version of what that relationship should have looked like or could have been like. What if my dad was in the picture? What if my mom didn't leave? My life would be so much better. Romanticized versions of that person in your life. And the reason the parent that stays gets blamed is because they stayed and they didn't take the steps that they needed to parent healthier. No one is expecting a parent to be perfect. I'm a parent. No one expects us to be perfect. However, being the parent that stayed doesn't give you the excuse to treat that child any old way because you stayed. The protection that should have happened to that child, the emotional connection that should have happened with that child, all are things that the parent who stays has to do. And you may not have received that type of same parenting from your parents. But that does not mean that that child didn't deserve at least one parent to be emotionally and physically nurturing to that child. Because ultimately, you chose to bring that child into the world. No, you did not make that child by yourself. But none of those decisions were the child's. And that's what I think gets lost in the translation. Because that's what happens when emotionally immature people connect and have babies. The child suffers. The parent that stayed gets blamed because you formed the bond. You started forming a bond with this child or with these children. And now they need you. When you don't show up for them, it looks just like abandonment, but with attachment. Abandonment without attachment, the person who left, is completely different from abandonment with attachment. Because there's a part of you that longs for that certain thing. Because you felt it from that person. Versus romanticizing what life could be like with this one over here if they didn't leave. So I definitely think that when it comes to people who say, well, why doesn't the parent who left get blamed like the parent who stayed? No attachment. And the only attachment that they may have been romanticized in their mind of what life could be like with that person. But life with you was this way. And that's all they know. So they're blaming you for what they know. And wishing that they could have experienced something different. Even if that person would have never been able to give them that. In their mind, they don't know that. Because they just never experienced it. So I think at the end of the day, we just stop placing blame and we just take accountability for what we couldn't do and what we didn't do. And instead of saying, why are they blaming us? Why are they blaming the one who stayed? Maybe think about why they're blaming you. Think about what you did or didn't do as a parent. And work on trying to fix that if you care to repair your relationship with your child. Simple as that. I hope this helps. God bless. No devil is old,